Hey guys, here with Genell Gorman. We are in Arizona, Scottsdale. We're going to do a live Q&A about men's mental health. For everybody watching the replay, we are just waiting for people to come in and ask us some questions. Hey guys. Hey Jason, how you doing? How you doing, my man? Hey guys, this is Genell. For anybody who doesn't know, any questions that you have about men's mental health, Genell is an expert in mother and father wound. She coaches men and women. She does live retreats sometimes as well. So any questions that you might have about mother-father wound, I know that I've posted about it on YouTube a lot as well, or men's mental health, just go ahead and put down below. We want to answer some questions. She's also fired up on feminism and how it's ruining everything right now. So if you want to talk about or disagree with or agree with how feminism is kind of like messing with men and men are becoming women.
It's messing with both genders.
It's spelled Genell, Genelle.
No E at the end.
Okay, sorry, I messed it up.
I think
also.
every one of my friends can't get my name right. It should be actually up there. If you click on to the Q&A of the title of this live, you should be able to see my page, right?
Women's menopause. I don't think we're experts in that.
No. We're not.
Admitting to burnout.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Neither gender is happy with the outcomes of feminism. Get rid of the gum.
I cannot hear at the right time. You're all talking about everything that I'm working through right now.
Oh, yeah?
So maybe that's what I needed to hear.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
maybe divine timing.
I think so.
You want to be on the live stream?
What is it? I gotta work.
Guys,
but
we have our waitress. She said, you're talking about everything that we needed to hear. What hit you the most?
yeah. The mother and father wounds, burnout.
Mother, father wound, burnout. Everybody's
Feminism.
struggling, guys.
So where do I need to? How can I connect with you all? So have a.
We can connect.
Yeah, well, I actually do father and mother wound coaching and healing and all
guys.
that work of the reparenting and subconscious rewiring and all of that.
Tired
Do you have
of
Instagram?
healing. Just give us 1 second, guys. We're connecting.
I have my whole
IRL in real life. I'm going to answer one of these questions while Genell is connecting. Tired of feeling invisible to my wife and stepkids. Tired of lack of respect, communication. Tired of feeling, I'm guessing, unloved. Wife doesn't wear her wedding ring anymore. I feel like I'm stuck. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that you feel like you're stuck. If our partner refuses to be a partner anymore, it's one of those times where you have to stop worrying about what they're doing and completely focus on self. They're not going to participate in partnership. They're not going to participate in collaboration. So why are you relying on the person who kind of hurt you, is poisoning the well, to fix it? Go back to center. What can you do to get back to your core values, to your community, to the things that make you feel strong and powerful as a man? Because that will help guide you in the next step, perhaps on how to be a partnership again. But right now it sounds like she's not looking to be a partner. She's just very focused on herself, which means you should get focused on yourself. So I'm just answering your guys' questions while Genell's in the corner talking to the waitress, because changing lives over here. But let me find another question. How to approach your kids about sadness after being dumped by the ex-wife? Your sadness or their sadness? If you're a parent, you do have a responsibility to be a stable place and a leader in your family. Doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable with your kids, but you have to have more logical conversations with them about vulnerability and about sadness, and approach it in a logical way of, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm working through it. Hey kids, you know, me and mom are going through a rough patch. We're going through a divorce, we're getting separated, whatever it is. I know you're feeling the impact. I know you see me being impacted by it. I want to assure you that even though I'm going through this hard time, that I'm doing X, Y, Z to work on it. And that if you are going through a hard time with this, I want to help you in any way I can, and I want to know what you're doing to work through it. And we work through these times together. In any moment in your life that you're going through a hard time, through sadness, you have a plan to work through it, and it's okay. Make sure that they look forward to being vulnerable with you, that it's not a weakness, that there's always a plan, that it's always okay, that there's always going to be a way that you can work through it. Do I do talks in person? How do I book you for a conference? I love that question, because I'm actually speaking at a live conference in 2 weeks. November 3rd through the 5th, I think, at a summit in Orlando called 100 Millionaire Summit. I should have it posted on my bio. If I do not, I will add it today. That's in Orlando. You can book me through a summit through the email that I have, link in bio, business@elisemichaels.com. Would love to meet you guys in person. Anybody who sees me in public, say hi. I love that. Let me find another question to answer. Sorry, whoever got mad at me for the gum. Keeping it in for a second. How do you deal with a spouse that personalizes everything? I'm guessing you mean, how do you deal with a spouse who takes every criticism, every reflection, every kind of point of feedback as a way to validate that they are not good enough? This happens a lot with couples where any kind of feedback we use as proof. If we didn't have a good upbringing, if we didn't have support systems, if we didn't feel loved enough, we use all of that feedback as a way to prove those childhood beliefs. In order to help change your spouse's mindset, you have to help them separate the inner critic from the external critic. And everything is the inner critic, right? Because everything is coming from our perspective. We're filtering everything. So helping them realize that, hey, my perspective is actually coming from my filter and your perspective is your filter. And reassuring them, usually they have an anxious attachment style, so reassuring them that you do love them, that it's not criticism, that it's to actually bring your relationship together, and asking them, how can I give you feedback without it being something that feels critical to you? How can I give you feedback in a way that makes you feel loved? And also having them be a partner and pushing through some of their own insecurities, because not everything is going to be your responsibility to kind of navigate around. Sorry guys, I'm like sweating. It is like 1,000,000 degrees in Arizona right now. I'm just like at this restaurant, like chatting in the open. People are watching me. Let me sit down so I don't look so awkward. Okay. Let me find a question. I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. Genell is chatting up the waitress right now. Getting a client, I think. We got her a client instantly. Give me 1 second, guys. Finding the question. I'm very direct and clear with my feelings and intentions when it comes to a potential partner. Never ends well. Does that scare women away? I just don't like to waste time or play games. Well, here's the thing. It might scare them away, but you want to scare them away, because if you're scaring them away, that means you're narrowing down your perfect partner, because not everybody is going to resonate with your authentic way of being. So as you want to be more authentic, you want to push more people away. You want to find the person who resonates with your authenticity, not just try to navigate around everybody's sensitivity in the world and everybody's certain feelings. Be who you are and see who likes it. Okay, so Genell is done now.
Good.
Now we're
Can
gonna
I add on to that? Yeah, be who you are.
Go sit down. Ready to go back to our bench?
That was funny. We're like, oh, see, speaking of things. Yeah, I feel like it comes back to, being true to you, being true to your values, being true to what you want, because what you want may be different from what someone else wants. And I notice in society, oftentimes we look and think, oh, if this person's relationship is like this, mine needs to be like that. No, it's what feels best for you. But being honest and true to yourself. There's one thing, like Elise was just saying, it's being authentic and allowing the people who don't resonate to leave. Goodbye, bye. You know, it does you a favor. And the more you self-abandon, the farther away you become from your authentic self. And that's why it's so important to be true to who you are. You know, and you get rewarded for that. Like God, universe rewards you for that. Drop the mask, you know?
What would you do if you loved someone who loves you but has a person? You leave them alone.
I think I would be more curious as to why they're looking for another person when they're with someone. A lot of times people are doing that for a need that they haven't made within themselves, so they believe that this other person's going to help them satisfy that need. So with that being said, that can be a really sticky type of, I would say, dynamic. So if you are into this person, I would tell them to reach out to you when they're single. You know, because the last thing you want is to be the other person. That goes for men or women. It's a shitty feeling, and it's not, it's a lot of times it's based on that I don't feel enough, so I'm going to allow someone who's emotionally unavailable to entertain me and not give me what I truly need and what I truly desire?
Yeah, that's a powerful question. I
Yeah,
think
thank you for asking that, because I feel like a lot of people are in these dynamics and it's just, they don't know what to do with it. And don't get me wrong, attention feels good, right? But attention from the right person, not just anyone. No, thank you.
right. Okay. Let's answer some other questions. What if you don't know who you truly are? If you feel like you don't know who you truly are, this is the perfect opportunity to build it out. Detach from what you feel like your identity needs to be, because a lot of times we grow up, even if you feel like you don't know who you are, you still have identity associations, right? I'm a dad, I'm a mother, I went to this college, I have this type of family, I have this attachment style. Start to detach from what you feel like you have been or should be, and start just being where you're at and seeing what you like, seeing who you want to be. What are your core values? What are the people you like to hang around? What religions or sports do you like? Mm-hmm. And you'll get an internal sense of fulfillment, and that's who you are. It's not on any type of career or identity. That's how I feel about it.
There's some good questions.
Thank you for people who are giving us
I
badges.
know.
It's very nice. Okay. This person should continue in a relationship where we've been married for 10 months, but as a secret only.
Wait, should continue a relationship where we've been married for 10 months? Do you mean they've been married for 10 months, or are they?
Yeah, have they been married, or we need to understand more about that. Okay. How do you know who the right person will be? Would you like to answer this?
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like, this is personal, of course, preferences. I feel like when you know, I don't want to say when you know, because it sounds so cliche, but I think being someone who's come from trauma, I used to be so entertained by the chaos, the dysfunction, and I was like, I need passion, I need passionism to keep me going. And the more I've done this work, I realize that the right person is going to allow you to feel appreciated, to feel respected, but more importantly, to help you feel safe. And I think so often we look for relationships and we don't look for that safety piece, and then we realize what's missing. And if you can't feel safe with your partner, that defeats the purpose of the actual relationship and the container for what it is. What do you think?
Sorry, it's a very loud truck.
I know, we're in the city. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
It's different from oh, they're the one. Because I've heard people who've fallen in love with their husbands and whatnot, or wives, after meeting them, after seeing them a couple times. It wasn't love at first sight. But then I've heard stories where it is. But it really comes back to, does this person make me feel good? Does this person make me feel safe?
Right. I think that the more authentic you are and the more you like yourself, then the safer you feel with someone else to be that authentic self is where you start to build trust and love, because love is also an action.
100%.
And if over time someone keeps saying they love you but they don't show you they love you, you're going to burn out from that also. So love, I think, is an action of somebody taking care of us and us taking care of them. And also you have to be physically attracted to them. Don't fool yourself if you want to be with them. But yeah, that's what I would say
That's important.
What's the meaning when a woman what's the meaning of when a woman is attracted to an unavailable man, or a man cheats?
That's the father wound.
So, yeah, I mean, usually when we're attracted to unavailability, it's because we feel the need to earn love, and we feel this internal sense of not deserving or not even recognizing what true love is, or what a healthy love is, which is stability and faithfulness and, direct attention. So you can become accustomed to a love bombing, where someone says you're the most wonderful person in the world. You're attached to that because maybe you felt like you were never good enough. So there's two questions in that, but I'll let you answer the rest of that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel oftentimes, especially I work predominantly with women, but I do work with men now, where a lot of times women, this is speaking for myself, is I used to attract emotionally unavailable men because I was emotionally unavailable, and that was a big pill for me to swallow, because I would tell myself, no, I am ready for an emotionally available partner. But if you keep attracting time and time again people who are emotionally unavailable, this goes for men and women who are listening, that means something in you is emotionally unavailable. And I know it sucks to hear maybe, but it's true. And it's kind of asking yourself, where in me am I not available? Is it to my emotions? Is it to when someone actually shows interest, do I become avoidant? That's a big indicator of emotional unavailability, like attachment styles. So that's what I would say is when we attract emotionally unavailable people, it's because, like, just like she was saying, something in us feels like unworthy, but also something in us is we're not emotionally available to ourselves. How do we expect? And it's like we have to be available to our own emotions to be able to connect with someone else's emotions.
Yes. And just leading into this, someone said, so do you agree that loving someone is a choice? No fairy tales, love is work and different for everyone. So choosing someone that chooses you is the best way to go. Not necessarily. Like, love, in part, I think, is a biological, chemical feeling. Like, sometimes you will love someone just instantly. But there's a certain time when you have to say, am I more committed to my emotions or am I more committed to my commitments? Because if you're someone who's just committed to your emotions, just committed to that chemical up and down, just committed to that dopamine hit, you're not going to be loyal. You're not going to find people who are loyal. You're going to be attached to the dopamine rush. But if you find you've fallen in love with someone and you say, I am committed to my commitments, so that means if I have married them, I'm committed to these vows through sickness and in health, and I'm going to work through it. I'm going to find myself loving them again, even if I don't have that dopamine rush. That is when you'll find yourself having the best relationships. Commit to your commitments, not your emotions, because emotions will change daily. Mm-hmm. Commitments are what you choose to be forever.
That's perfectly put.
Damn, there's so many questions, guys. You guys are asking the best questions ever. I wish you read my first message on here, ladies. Sorry, there's so many. Hang on. When you chew gum, does it make you happy? Sometimes it makes me have not bad breath.
I hate gum. Makes me sick. It does. Thanks, it makes me nauseous. But it's okay. To each his own. I totally support your gum chewing. Just kidding.
Hang on. There's lots of questions, guys. We got to filter through. Okay, Genell, maybe you can answer this one.
Yeah.
A woman I've fallen for is affectionate with me. However, she won't commit to a relationship. It feels so right when we are together. What can/shall I do? So she won't commit to a relationship, but she's being intimate with you.
Oh, that doesn't sound fair. I mean, it really comes back to you asking yourself, what do you want? Because if you're getting your physical needs from her, but not your emotional, I truly feel like emotional needs are so important because that's what actually keeps a relationship like intact and it keeps it intimate and safe. So I would say, I mean, have a conversation if you haven't already. It sounds like you may have, but if you haven't, because sometimes we speak of things and we don't speak our truth, have the conversation and ask her like where she is and how she feels, and which in her response to that, then you get to decide, am I abandoning myself in this situation or is it something I can tolerate? But yeah, I'm sending you love for that because that is difficult, but it really comes back to what you want. Do you want a monogamous relationship, not an open relationship? Then it's like asking yourself, because some people are okay with that and some people aren't. What happened? Oh, bye.
Someone keeps talking about pizza, so I think we'll bring that up.
I don't like pizza. Just kidding.
Okay, and I know, guys, you want to input your own advice in here, but one thing that I really try to make clear with my content is it's always about self-accountability and reflection, never about blaming other people.
Never.
And never about like attacking the other gender. I don't want you guys to become woman haters and bash on women in the comments. Also, it like really beats me down as a content creator to see that when I'm creating content. So I haven't posted in like 8 days. Because like the last thing that we need is more polarity, more, oh, they're just a hoe or they're just an asshole or they're just a dick, and like be more me. That's not what we want. We want to be more self-accountability so we can heal, so we can attract people who are in our alignment. And what happens then when you become in full alignment and you become fully accountable for yourself, you start helping the people around you feel safe enough to do so also. So hurt people, but healed people also heal people. So I don't want you to become part of the problem by saying, she's for the streets, she's a 304.
That doesn't serve you
It's
in any
not
way.
serving you by even talking about it,
Makes
because
you
you're
look bad.
just attracting those women in your life, right? So we want you to focus only forward, only on the type of man you want to be, only on the type of women that you want to surround yourself with. Right?
Absolutely. And just to see what she said, like just to piggyback off what she just said, is it's so important for us not to bring each other down gender-wise. I mean, like, why the fuck do we do it? Like, that doesn't help. Like she said, it's not serving you. If anything, it makes you look bad, and it makes the person who did the damage look bad. Like, it's not serving you in any way, and I know it may feel good for the time being, but at the end of the day, it's like, what do you truly want? Focus on that. Stop focusing on the negative. It's so easy to focus on the negative. As humans, that's what we do, and it's just coming back to realizing that people do things because of their own programming. And that's something I learned deeply as I continued this healing journey. It's don't take things personal. That's like one of the laws. Never take things personal. People do things because of their own past trauma. Does that make it okay? No. But if we're the ones, like she said, hurt people, and it's either like, am I going to grow above it and be bigger than that, or am I going to stoop to that person's level? Because don't get me wrong, I've had, like, you know, it's, some people suck, but I'm not going to give them my time or day, like my mind space. They're not going to take up my mental space.
Yes, 100%. Okay, this is a long one. Hi, Lise. I'm about to end a 20-plus year marriage with someone who I no longer know. Should I feel bad for ending this relationship when it has become entirely one-sided and I feel like I'm being used? I mean, it doesn't sound like you actually feel bad. It sounds like you want validation that you're doing the right thing, which is totally fine. I don't know the details of your relationship or your marriage, but if it truly is one-sided, what else can we do, right? I mean, I think we also have like a very interesting look on marriages now. They used to last forever, but people also used to live only for 40 years, right? Maximum. So people were just dying early. Now we have so many resources where we're growing and living longer, and people change. People really change. We have to be very conscious of who we're becoming, of who our partner is becoming, and the rules to which we started a relationship are going to change. Can you navigate that change together or not? For a lot of people right now, it's not. They cannot navigate the change together. But if you're just starting to get into relationships now and you're just getting married now, you can make that commitment to say, we're going to make these changes together. And if at any point we decide to part ways, then maybe that is what's healthiest for us. I think we have to really change our perspective on health and what really matters, which is, can we separate peacefully, or do we have to tear ourselves apart in order to do it? Why does it, you know, like there's nothing bad in giving your all to something. Okay, there are so many good questions.
I think we still have questions in there too. Oh my god.
Oh shoot, what's this? Okay, do you want to answer this one? Do you think a man should stay a virgin until marriage?
Oh God, you're giving me this question. I'm just kidding. It's a personal preference, and it really depends on, I mean, I know it can be a religion factor, but asking yourself, what do you want? Because I am Christian, but at the same time, this is my own personal Christianity, is I'm choosing what I want to do still, and not allowing religion to, wow, this is really tough. This is really touchy. But I'm not allowing religion to dictate whether or not I want to wait till marriage. You know, so it's really asking yourself, what do you want to do? Not what does my mom think I should do? What does my dad think I should do? No, it's what do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, this is your life. You know?
Okay, J. Rax, you've already commented a few times that you get plenty of women, but you don't know how to cultivate a real relationship. And I'm wondering if this mentality is why, because you just said, women will use your lack of experience against you. I need to please my woman. How much are you pleasing your woman if you can't be in a steady relationship? Because sexual pleasure is not going to make the foundation of a relationship. There are women who want men who are committed to God, who are committed to their abstinence until marriage. You have to be so personal with your own core values and with your own way of life. If you just start, God even says in the Bible, do not go with the ways of the world, right? Maybe you're more accurate with the quote. Do not embrace the ways of the world. You don't have to believe the lie that women are not going to like you because of your lack of experience. maybe some won't, but the ones who matter won't care because you build and cultivate that relationship together. A relationship is cultivated off of way more than intimacy.
Sex. No,
it's like that's not even a part of it.
Sex is easy. Anyone can do it. Like, it's easy.
Anyone can learn.
It's not even a...
Anyone can learn. Being a virgin doesn't really freaking matter. You know, like, or having 100 bodies, like, that's not giving you actually any skill set. It just means you're like a restaurant on the boulevard that gets eaten at a lot, you know? Nobody who comes back to it. Apparently nobody. So you really got to get the secret sauce and cultivate what makes you a significant person. And I know I'm totally going off on a tangent.
No, that's rightfully so.
You know, like, but I do not support men who tell other men what women do or don't want. You know, like, there are different women who want different things. And if you want to support the toxic mentality of toxic women, you can go ahead and do that. But if you're trying to be a healthy man, you have to believe in the positivity of a woman.
Yeah, if not, like she said, you're going to keep attracting toxic dynamics, and then you're going to ask yourself, why do I keep dealing with these types of women? It's like, because that's the energy you're putting out. The energy you put out is the people you attract.
Okay, what do you think about this question? Thoughts on a woman in their masculine energy and saying they don't need a man.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. I just went on a rant on that in my stories. At the end of the day, we're humans. We're meant to be with someone else. Women do want someone, but they want someone who creates safety within them, who feels good to be around. And I'm sure the same thing is with men. And I just think a lot of times women are in this hyper-independence because of their own trauma, but they also don't allow the right man in because of their own father wound and maybe not being able to trust men or trauma with their mother or whatnot. But I think at the end of the day, women really do want to be provided for. I hate to break it to you, and I know feminism is creating so much bullshit saying that we don't, but guess what? We do. And it's just a matter of being able to find a trusting partner to let that guard down and do the work. The woman needs to do her own healing work, because you can't convince as a man a woman to just like stop everything. She has to do her shit too, her healing, all of that.
Yeah, and the point we're trying to make here, guys, is that of course, like, toxic women exist. Of course, women exist who hate men and who just want to do everything by themselves. The point isn't to like necessarily acknowledge them. The point is to get in alignment with the women who do want exactly the lifestyle that you want. And I know that there's some people really asking about going back to your partner after they've cheated, they ran away with the kids, etc., etc. You know, it's like personal preference, but here's the thing. God does all things for good. I'm not like a Bible humper or whatever, but like I've just spent a lot of time around like godly people these last few days, and we were talking about these things. And are you going to let a situation turn you into a person you don't like, that you don't respect, that's been made bitter? You know, they say being angry is like drinking poison because it poisons you and not the other person. So are you going to let that turn you into a person who's not good? Or are you going to turn it into good? Because I actually do know a man whose wife cheated on him also after 20 years. And he didn't respond in a negative way. He didn't yell at her. He didn't scold her. He said, you know what? I'm going to choose to love you even more. And I'm going to give love to those men. And, you know, she just broke down crying. And, emergency. And it made their relationship even stronger. That's not condoning disloyalty. It's not condoning cheating. But God forgives mistakes. He doesn't keep right of our wrongs. And if somebody is willing to change, and they are truly sorry, and they are truly invested in keeping something together, who are we to hold judgment? Because all we're doing is swallowing poison. Can you allow it to make you a more godly person? Can you allow it to make you someone who is better and make the relationship better? And of course, you don't want to keep accepting disrespect. Repeated behavior is what you want to avoid, but can we allow the making of a mistake? After 20 years, it's a long time. 15 years, it's a long time. Like, you know, are we going to let one thing tarnish the whole? Mm-hmm. You know, so it's up to personal preference, but sometimes I say forgiveness in your heart is going to be a lot lighter And that pain is going to be a lot lighter when you forgive and choose to love than when you choose to hold on to the pain, if they are willing to change and make it work.
Amen to that, sister.
Yeah, and some people would walk away. That's fine. You can walk away. I mean,
To each his own.
because some people see things as like disrespect instead of the person disrespecting themselves. Because that's what it is. When someone cheats on you or whatever, it's not disrespecting you, it's disrespecting themselves. They feel so empty that they are willing to take on momentary attention, momentary, ruin everything they have in order to get that fulfillment, and that's sad. And also, I was with a Christian couples marriage couple, whatever, coach this weekend, and he actually said that as a man, he takes responsibility for everything. That if his wife were to cheat on him, he would say, damn, man, like, what was I doing to drive her to this position? What was I, not saying that it's like your fault, but the more responsibility that we can take and the more accountability we can take in our lives, the more control we take back in our lives. Take control over everything in your life and stop feeling like they somehow now have control or power over you. Hey, Tommy, that's exactly what I was just talking about. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Tommy?
I was literally just talking about the advice that you just gave me. That's Tommy's the one who said, as a man, you take absolute you take absolute responsibility for every single thing that you do. Yeah, cheating is disrespectful and disloyal to both, sure. But you can make it your superpower. You don't have to become an evil person because someone cheated on you.
And to each his own. Everyone gets to decide what they want to do with their life.
These are some good comments, guys. Why do I fall in love with every woman that gives me attention?
You can answer that.
You go.
Yeah, I'll go. Well, I would say the reason for that can also be, it's getting really clear on your values of what you want in a person and not just allowing any person who gives you attention or a sense of affection to mean or determine something within you. If that makes sense. I mean, it's nice to, of course, get attention and affection and to be noticed and acknowledged, but it's another thing to really ask yourself, what does this person have that I truly want as my wife? There's a difference. So I don't even think it's a matter of you being like liking each of them, and maybe it is, but from what I'm feeling, it's like that attention that they give is like, ooh, okay. So a lot of times it's like starving for the attention that is being asked to give to yourself. When you can truly begin to start loving yourself more deeply, you may see someone giving you affection, but you may ask yourself or you're more than likely going to ask yourself, what do I want? What is this? Who is this person actually? Not just what they're giving me, these like breadcrumbs. It's like, who are you? What's your soul like?
100%. And someone said, if her family took advantage of my relationship and made a profit, is it worth fighting for? Okay, if you're with a seriously toxic partner that you feel like the devil is in, then the devil was in you when you partnered with them. You have to think what is the most loving thing I could do in this situation? Is it to leave? Is it to stay? Because if someone's constantly abusing you, then what part of that abuse is benefiting you? Because something always benefits us, even if it's a negative situation and we're staying. If it wasn't anything beneficial at all, we would leave.
And oftentimes that situation, this is deep, but is really like a mirror of our childhood and what we didn't get from that specific parent.
Would you ever be willing to talk about childhood trauma and horrible mothers? Well, I already have on mine. She definitely has. Moms are responsible for the emotional regulation of the child for the most part, because they're usually the ones who reflect back the emotions, which is why if a man has grown up with a single mother who had to do everything herself, she didn't have emotional space and availability to reflect back to him, to connect with him. So he's left feeling abandoned and distant, and women are kind of just cold, or he really likes the hardworking woman, but he never feels in his masculine because he's so used to a masculine woman that maybe either does everything for him or kind of does nothing for him and told him to get out there. And I find that those men tend to be the ones who are I know. They have infidelity because they don't know how to connect on a deeper level, and they're chasing the dopamine rush.
I also see those types of men like dating or looking for partners to be their mother. And that's why I often see is like men with mother wounds, just like women in father wounds. Sometimes women who have father wounds are more than likely they look for their father in their partners. And it's a sense of not being fair, I feel, because the more we're dating and looking for the lens of this person to fulfill the parent role that we didn't get, we're not looking from the state of actual love through a partner's lens, and more so like what needs I didn't get from childhood. And I feel like it can be a bit selfish.
All right, girl, I think we should like wrap this up.
Yeah, we can keep talking.
We could talk for hours, guys, but this was just a special treat with me and Genell. I'll post it on my feed.
Yes.
Go ahead and give her a follow, and if you want us to do collabs and more stuff together, let me know. Or else I hope you have a wonderful day. And also, if you want to see her speak, she's actually speaking in my men's group a couple weeks from now in November. So you want in on that, go to the link in my bio, join the men's membership before the price goes up. There's special guest speakers every single weekend. This weekend is also Xavier. He talks about narcissism and abuse. So please click the link in my bio, and I'll see you guys there.
Amazing. Bye, guys.